with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
On the farm from dawn till dusk, hardworking hands tend to the land, equipment, and the animals. But your hard work deserves a little relaxation too. Visit the Nebraska Ag Expo, December 10th through the 12th at Sand Hills Global Event Center in Lincoln. See all the latest ag innovations in livestock and equipment, precision ag, drone, and AI tech, crop inputs, grain storage, and more. Take a break from the daily grind and recharge at the Nebraska Ag Expo. You deserve it. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the best place in Lincoln for a casual get-together, best place to watch a game, and the best for pre- and post-game. Catch college and NFL football as well as the volleyball action this season at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. What's better than wings, cold beer, and a Husker win? Enjoy great food and drink specials every day and tons of TVs to catch all the action. Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretexcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up.
Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks, exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. This has been an insane morning for yours truly. Not in a bad way, in a good way. I've been on the phone with multiple different people in multiple different situations. And if I'm being honest with you, I was very close to a very big interview at 12:30. I was on the phone with that particular person, and I could tell it would have been a big interview, would have attracted a lot of attention. I'm talking to this particular individual, and I can just see they're uncomfortable. I can feel it over the phone. And so we are going to revisit that in another date because I know what it's like to be in their shoes. And you want to help somebody out. I got a relationship with them. They know it's going to do a lot of good things. But for them, I want them to be comfortable. I don't want to do anything that they're not cool with. And so out of respect for them, I suggested, hey, maybe time down the road. That being said, like I said, I've been on the phone with multiple people to multiple different things, multiple different sources. By the way, for those listening who trust me with information, I do appreciate that. And my priority as a former player, first and foremost, I might even say second and third, with all due respect to the shows that I do. I'm a former player first, second, and third. I will always respect someone's privacy and wishes first. All right, so I want that to be known. But thank you to everyone who has opened up to me as a source since, since I started doing the show, but it just continues to grow, and especially recently. But we are going to talk about the transfer portal, the insanity, what's going on at Nebraska, what the overall numbers look like. Emmett Johnson, going on a different topic, is now gone, as we know. Okay, one of the sources, one of the situations that I spoke to a source about was the Emmett Johnson situation on another topic here, and they shared some stuff, and I was like, "What are you okay with me sharing, if anything?" And so I do have, from a source with good knowledge of the Emmett Johnson situation, I do have a message from this particular source to share on their behalf. Emmett's on the way back to Minnesota right now. I think he's on an airplane, so he's doing his thing. I will share that in a minute. This first segment's going to be crazy loaded with all of that information. The second segment, well, before we get to that, Carriker's Trivia Challenge today, which, as always, includes a prize. But what's that number they can call into, Jake?
402-464-5685.
We have increased the level of prize awesomeness. I think that's a good phrase to use because per Automotive Solutions, you can get a $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions at 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. The conditions for this are very, very simple. You must make an appointment, good for mechanical repairs, preventative maintenance services, or maintenance services and or vinyl services. It is all caps, transferable, expires 180 days after receipt is picked up by the listener to be validated by the station upon picking it up. You can pick it up right here at 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 11th and O. So today, normally you have to be the fifth caller. This thing's going to keep evolving as we go along. And if insanity ever chills out, maybe it never will, and that's okay. It gives us plenty to talk about. I don't know if it's the best for college football, but it is what it is right now. If it ever chills out, we will refine how this is going to work each and every day going forward. Today, we're doing bringing back Carriker's Trivia Challenge. Jake, do I get to know the topic of what the challenge is going to be today? Because normally I know the opponent we're going to play. We got I don't know. Well, I was going to say an 8-month bye week, but we do have a bowl game. So we got a few weeks of a bye week. So what is the topic at least on today?
Well, it's conference championship weekend. So I've focused on that.
All right. So the topic is conference championship weekend here in college football. So take on yours truly. If you can defeat me, you will win a $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions. And I'm going to be honest with you. I want to do this like the first person to call in. Call that number. What's the number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
The first person to call in, we're going to do Carriker's Trivia Challenge, and you can win a $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions. And then the second segment today, I'm going to look ahead to those college football championship games this weekend. Oregon, I almost said Ohio State. Oregon, Penn State, Texas, GAGMU versus Georgia. Then you've got SMU versus Clemson, because who would have predicted that'd be an ACC championship matchup 3 years ago? And then you got Arizona State, they were picked to finish 16th out of 16 teams in the Big 12. All right, and they're going to be taking on Iowa State in the Big 12 championship. Also, Boise State, UNLV. We'll chat about that. There was something interesting that stuck out to me about the ACC championship, the Big 12 championship, and the Mountain West championship. They all have something related that doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form related to the college football playoff, and I'm going to dive into that. Then we're going to end the show today talking, I love to talk all Husker sports. Volleyball, first round of the playoffs tonight, Florida A&M. I mean, I don't want to put bad juju out there. I feel confident in our team, but they did lose to Florida A&M. What was it, like 2004, 2005? So it's the revenge matchup almost 2 decades later. And also Nebraska men's and women's basketball are having really good seasons so far. All right, the women's basketball team is ranked, had another great win earlier this week. All right, but let's start with Emmett Johnson entering the transfer portal and transfer portal insanity. All right, so here is some of the production from the running back position that will not be back next year. All right, with Ramir gone and Gabe entering the transfer portal and Emmett entering the transfer portal, 765 rush yards, 432 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. All right, and as I mentioned, I believe yesterday's show, maybe it was Tuesday, I think it was yesterday, Dante, who's coming back, was tied for second in the Big Ten when it came to rushing touchdowns on the season. Obviously, Quentin Ives is still in the room. We brought in 2 young freshman running backs who look to be very promising. In fact, Connor Booth was just announced, I believe, today or either late last night, I believe today, is the Gatorade Player of the Year. All right, the Nebraska Football Player of the Year. So congratulations to the man who put up video game-like numbers this past season in high school here in the state of Nebraska. So congrats to Connor. He's going to be in that room. When it comes to Emmett, all right, this is tough for me because I'm just going to be blunt. I know more than I'm going to share. I'm going to share what they've been, the source asked me to share, and I'm going to try to walk the line of sharing as much as I can while prioritizing, respecting what this source does and does not want me to share on Emmett's behalf. So the first thing they wanted to make incredibly clear is it's not about money. And I know you're going to shake your heads and everything else. Per this conversation, I'm pretty good at reading people. I've lived all over the place. I know what it's like to grow up on the wrong side of a not so nice town. You don't know if you're going to get in a fight from day to day. I know what it's like to move into a middle class area and then fortunate enough to move up to the next type of area, which is pretty nice. I've seen all sorts of things, and I'm pretty good at reading people. Nobody bats 1,000, but I could tell when they told me this was not about money, I believed them. Okay? Not as the major factor. That was reiterated several times. And at first, I was kind of nodded. Okay. I believe them. All right. Not about money. Now, nobody's spoken directly to Emmett because that would be tampering. You can't do that until Monday. But he has an agent. And through the agent, there's been about 20, at least 20 was the words that were used, at least 20 teams that have reached out from multiple different conferences. There's a lot of interest that is there. So as you can imagine, whatever happens, He's got options. It was also told to me Nebraska is not completely out of the equation. I will give you my personal opinion on how likely I think it is that he does or does not come back. It is my opinion because all that was told to me is it's not out of the equation. All right. Now, some of the factors as for going in. The relationship with the former OC was not great. There was frustration due to lack of playtime early on. It was mentioned in the Colorado game, either 0 or 1 carries, as an example, was slated to be the starter and all of a sudden changed before the start of the season, which I was not completely aware of, okay, before the season started. And then it changed. There was disrespect that was felt via playtime, via other things. Some of it, may have been relationship-wise, okay, with the former OC, even other individuals in that football building. Certain things that were perceived disrespect were seen and allowed to continue to happen. And that did not help the situation. Now, what should be clarified is I was told that he likes Dana a lot. He likes Dana Holgorsen a lot. And the reason Nebraska is still in the conversation is because of Dana Holgorsen. And the last 2 or 3 games, all of a sudden, he's getting the ball more. He's getting more opportunities. He shows what he can do. And that's directly related to Dana. Since he's entered the portal, all right, Dana is the only one, but he has reached out and tried to speak with him. I don't know if they've actually connected. That's something I don't actually know of. The feeling I got is they had connected, but with the words that were used was Dana is the one who has reached out. So if you listen to those words, it means nobody else has. All right. So that is what I understand. That is what I have been informed they're okay with relaying. Do I know more? Yes. Am I going to betray somebody's trust? No. That is priority 1, 2, and 3 to me. So to sum everything up, and as I'm talking, I'm going to make sure I didn't leave anything out, and then I'll give my opinion based on the conversation with this trusted source on what may or may not happen. All right. Not about money. And again, I shook my head on the phone. They couldn't see me. Obviously, we're on the phone. And I was like, okay, everybody's going to say that. I legit do not think it's about that. Are there opportunities out there? As I mentioned, 20 or more already have spoken with the agent. The transfer portal actually opens Monday, December 9th. Okay. And so there's options. Now, in the portal, he's going to go. It's not definitive whether he's going to come back to Nebraska or not. It is an option. The relationship with the former OC and some things that were allowed to happen was not great. The fact that they were allowed to continue to happen did not make what I am told, per this trusted source, Emmett feel very, very happy about certain things. There was a level of disrespect that was felt. Okay. And trying to make sure there's nothing I'm leaving out that I was asked to share with the fine folks at home. We're obviously staying in the lines that I've been asked to stay into. I think that about covers it all. Really likes Dana. Basically, Dana's the reason Nebraska's still an option. So here is my take on this. And if I'm being honest with you, I was tempted not to just not give my opinion on this because I don't know the Husker fans are going to like it. And I personally hope that I'm wrong. The feeling I get is Nebraska's an option. Dana's the reason. But I don't get the feeling, and it's the tone of voice that I heard on the phone from this source. It's the tone of voice. And I don't get the feeling that there's over a 50% chance he's coming back to Nebraska. I'll put it that way. It's on the table. I don't feel like the odds are in favor of it happening. I hope to God I'm wrong. I said, hey, can you tell Emmett for me? Okay. And I've interviewed Emmett in the past, and I've spoken with Emmett in the past. But, at times like this, players want their space, and he's going home, like I mentioned. So can you relay for me that I hope he comes back, but he's got to do what's best for him, and I respect that. So that is everything on that front. I don't think I've ever spoken that slowly on this show. I think that's what happens when you think before you speak, which I don't often do, right, Jake?
That's right.
You're not supposed to agree that quickly. All right. Now, the transfer portal as a whole. Okay. So when you look at, my goodness, the amount of players, let me see if I can find this. The amount of players that have gone in, and this was sent to me right before. So I've not been able to confirm these numbers, but there's expected to be roughly 20,000 football players throughout the entirety of this offseason. And it is a bit of a projection because it's the entirety of the offseason that are expected to go into the portal. Just think about that number. All right, Adam. Well, how many openings are there? That's the question. There's about 3,500 to 4,000. I think it's under 4,000 actual openings that are expected to be available, especially with the roster numbers going down to 105. And for those who asked me yesterday, I did a speaking gig up at Holy Ghost. It's the 50th anniversary of that going on up in Omaha. They've had, oh my gosh, legends from Bob Devaney to Osborne to Ron Brown to all sorts of people go up there and do it. And it's the first time I've ever been asked to do it. Had a blast, went way over time, but people seem to enjoy it. Okay. But I was asked, hey, so is it like, how's that scholarship work though? So you can still bring in 20 walk-ons. No, they have legislated out the walk-ons out of college football. It is 105 players, 105 scholarships, no walk-ons. The good news is more players will get scholarships. If we're being honest, you could have 85 scholarships and just give the other 20 guys NIL to offset it if you wanted to. So I don't know how much of a difference it is. Ultimately, less guys are going to get to play college football. And I absolutely hate the fact that the walk-on way of life programs for these colleges have been legislated out of college football. But the amount of players that are expected to go into the transfer portal is absolutely insane. And then another person sent me something, okay? 31,000 overall collegiate athletes are anticipated to go in. And this is the number I really want to verify. This person said 45% of them will find a home. Can you imagine how many that leaves out there? I was actually surprised that the number was 45%. I felt like that was high. I would have guessed 33% at the most, like 30, 40 at the most, 25. I wouldn't have been shocked. The amount of people that are in the portal, the reduced roster sizes, the fact that the grass isn't always greener. You go into this unknown space with high expectations, and some people are greeted with open arms, and some people are unfortunately left floating in that space out there. All right, so let's look at a couple of things here. All right. Well, first of all, Kentucky's top 2 wide receivers are in the portal. All right. Barry and Brown, Dane Key. Their tight end is in the portal as well. So we'll see. D Shorts. All right. Jordan Dingle's Kentucky's tight end from last year, starting tight end. So their top 2 wide receivers, their top tight end are in the portal, or going to be in the portal. I keep saying in the portal. They're going in the portal on December 9th. So let's see what happens. I can't help but wonder if a lot of the defensive players that we have entered the portal, Terrence Knight this morning tweeted out a whole Florida State thing. We knew it was coming. All right. And I wonder how many are going to go down there. And I wonder how many Kentucky players might end up here. This is the roster swapping that could potentially happen is just crazy. Now, portal entries by team, number, amount for the Big Ten. Purdue has 14, 111. That'll do it. Wisconsin 13, rough end of the season. Nebraska 11. All right, UCLA 7, Indiana, USC 6, Iowa, Minnesota, Northwestern 5, Michigan 4, Maryland 3, Ohio State 3. No playoffs for them, I guess. Penn State 2, them as well. Washington 2, Illinois 1, Michigan State retaining everybody. Jonathan Smith, the former Oregon State quarterback and head coach, retaining everybody. Oregon 0, number 1 in the country, undefeated. That helps. Rutgers 0. I find that interesting. Is there anything on the text line I should be addressing right now, Jake? I know you're working on Carriker's Trivia Challenge. By the way, we got a caller in. I've been talking so much, people haven't even had a chance to call in.
We do. We have Lee on the line. Wait.
All right. I will be quiet there. My God, it's the loaded show each and every day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to bring on the caller. We're going to do Carriker's Trivia Challenge, and then we will resume with so many things to talk about. I'm actually sitting here. I don't know if you can see this random photo, the most 90s photo in existence. It's Lewis, Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Oh, yeah.
It's Family Matters, Steve Urkel, and it's AC Slater from Saved by the Bell back in the day playing a pickup basketball game together, if you can see that there,
Yeah.
Jake. So not to bounce all over the place. But it's time for Carriker's Trivia Challenge. All right, who we got?
We do have Lee on the line. Lee's not there, so we do need somebody to call in. I think.
Do we got another caller? I spoke too long. Do we got another caller? Or I can dive right back into these topics.
402-464-5685. We do have a caller.
All right, let's do it.
But we got to get somebody to answer the phone back there.
Aha. All right, so here's what we'll do. Why don't we take a break? I pushed it right up to break anyways. We will do Carriker's Trivia Challenge when we come back. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy in Husker Nation right now.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
It happens. All of a sudden, you need a plumber. Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Problem solved with Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA fighters on Saturday, December 7th with Violence Fight League 2 at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now is the perfect time to go, with Nebraska football in between the regular season and a bowl game. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited. All built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back to my normal, incredibly fast-talking self, and we're going to dive right in with Carriker's Trivia Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, the prize for this Trivia Challenge is a $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions. All right, who's the victim?
All right, we got Ernie on the line. Ernie, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going, Ernie? You having a great day?
Yeah, I'm having a great day. How about you?
I don't know if I believe you. I'm having a crazy day. Every day is great. Are you sure you're having a great day?
I'm having a great day, wrapping work up for the afternoon here in a couple hours. I'm going to watch Dylan's younger brother Dayton play in a semifinal state championship game tonight, so I'm really excited about that. And I think I saw that Dylan's probably in town and going to the game as well based on some social media posts, so that'll be exciting.
All right, that'll be fun, dude. I want to see some pictures, all right? If you get a picture with Dylan, tag me on X or something.
All right, we'll do.
All right,
I've met his brother and I've met his parents. I saw him play 5 times last year and went to signing day, but I've never met him, so that would be cool. I'll definitely do that.
This guy sounds like a dedicated fan. This could be a challenge. All right, Carriker's Trivia Challenge. What do we got, Jake? What are the questions?
Well, a reminder too: if Carriker wins, then caller number 3 will actually take home the prize. Obviously, if Ernie wins, he takes home the prize. So just so everybody out there knows, 402-464-5685 if Carriker wins. To look out for that, but we're going to have.
I'm sorry I bumped that other caller, the person who got disconnected early. I noticed you needed a caller, so I called in.
Hey, it's all good.
First time.
We reward patience around here, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
So we're going to get some game show music started because what's a game show without some nice game show music? And then we'll get 3 questions to you. Then we'll do 3 questions to Carriker. If we're tied, we got a tiebreaker at the end, and we can go from there. But we'll start with this. Ernie, it is conference championship weekend, so we got a few questions regarding that. When was the last time that Iowa State won a conference title? Was it 2020 or 1912?
Oh, gosh, that's a tough one. I'm going with the Big 8 of 2012.
So it's 2020 or 1912?
Oh, I'm going to go 1912.
Do I get questions that are this easy, too?
He gets 1912. That's
Everybody
correct.
knows they didn't win in 2020.
Hey, they were in the championship game in 2020.
Okay.
Clemson, most recent conference title, 2020 or 2022?
I would say 2022.
That is correct as well. And who has more titles, conference titles altogether, Penn State or Oregon?
I would go Penn State.
Penn State has 4, Oregon has 13. So 2 points at the end of your question. So very good spot.
You got to
be
keep in mind, Penn State's only been in a conference since '94.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's been part of it.
That's when the Big Ten and numbers didn't match anymore. We went to 11 teams but stayed the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Now we're like the Big 89 or something.
And their little logo represented that as well. All right, Carriker, we need 2 points for you to tie, 3 for the win. Arizona State's most recent conference championship, 2007 or 1996?
07.
It is 07. There's a point. SMU's most recent title, 1984, conference title, 1984 or 2023?
I would say 84.
Well, this is on Carriker, though.
They didn't win last year. No, they didn't win last year. No, they played in the Pinstripe Bowl and got killed by Boston College. Whatever conference they were in doesn't send their champ there. I'm going to go 84.
It's actually 2023. They did win their conference championship.
They go to the
last year.
Pinstripe Bowl?
It might have been the tie.
I overthought that
Maybe
one.
they don't have that one in there, yeah. So you need this one to tie Ernie
Dang it.
here. More conference titles in their history, Georgia or Texas?
Texas.
It is Texas. Texas has a lot of titles, actually 31. Georgia has 15. For those keeping score at home, too, by the way, Nebraska has 46. That's second all-time to Oklahoma, who has 50.
Good old Big 8.
Yeah. So we got to get to the tiebreaker here. Ernie, I'll just have you go above or below the number that Carriker gets here. This is tying back
Oh,
to...
that's right. I get the disadvantage.
Yes,
We got to change this tiebreaker. Go ahead.
1999 Big 12 championship game. The last time Nebraska won a conference title, they beat Texas 22-6. Nebraska finished with 275 yards on the ground. Carl Buckhalter led Nebraska that day with how many yards?
You know, I knew the answer to every question you just said except for the actual question. I knew the score. I knew the team. I knew the rushing yards. The actual Carl Buckhalter. How many did he have? All right. Oh, man. Let's go with... These answers are always misleading, and I always overthink it, which I am doing again right now, hence the long pause. So I'm going to just blurt out a number, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to go with 110 yards.
110 yards is the number. So it comes down to this, Ernie. Do you think Carl Buckhalter had more or less than 110 yards in the 1999 Big 12 championship game?
More.
Carl Buckhalter finished with 136 yards. Ernie, you are the winner.
Congratulations, Ernie. Good job, dude.
Hey, thanks. Nice to talk to you guys. Enjoy the show. You guys have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy
All right, you too, my friend. Tell the Rilers we said hey. You think about that 99 team. You think about we're running the option. You got the quarterback. You got multiple running backs. And I was like, oh man, Carl Buckhalter, was a stud, though. All right, I have fallen to 4-3. Which means my percentage of winning is below Sipple's, and shut up, Sipple, man. So my solo, private, public, Sipple does know about it, actually. We texted about it earlier this week. Competition, I am now losing.
That's all right.
I only wish Sipple would participate
voluntarily.
voluntarily. It's all involuntarily. Anyways, I digress. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was fun each and every week. We do Carriker's Trivia Challenge. All right, we're going to do a quick Husker Sports Roundup, then I'm going to preview. Well, I think what annoys me is I knew most of the things that were asked, except for like the one or two things I got wrong. That was kind of crazy. I even knew Arizona State, Iowa State, 1912. I even knew that one. That's why my hands went in the air if you're watching on TV. It's like, I know that. That's all right. I will accept defeat, not so gracefully. That's okay. Here's our Husker Sports Roundup, and then we're going to close out the show by previewing the college football championship games this weekend. All right, shout out to Nebraska men's wrestling. They are the number 4 team in the country right now, undefeated. Number 1 is Penn State, Iowa, Oklahoma State, then Nebraska. All right. Actually, the Big Ten's kind of dominating the top 5. 3 of the top 5 teams belong to the Big Ten. Actually, let me take that back. 4 of the top 5, Penn State, Iowa, Nebraska, and Ohio State. Shout out to Nebraska men's wrestling team. They're going to be participating in the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational. All right, coming up this weekend. Nebraska volleyball. They've had a heck of a season. All right, they had a 24-match winning streak at one point, of which they swept 20 of those opponents. They have a 19-1 conference record, 29-2 overall record, 18-0 at home, 10-2 away. For what it's worth, 1-0 on neutral sites. They've have a winning percentage of .950, and I've talked, I don't want to say nauseam, but I've talked a lot about the insane schedule that they've played. All right, they have basically beaten just about every top 10 team in the country, top 12 team in the country, with the exception of about 2. And so they play a brutal schedule. They got a ton of wins. Now, if you want to go check it out tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at the Bob Devaney Center at 4:30, you can see Miami play South Dakota State. And then at 7 o'clock, that game's at 4:30. That match is at 4:30. At 7 p.m., you can watch Nebraska take on Florida A&M in the first round of the NCAA tournament. All right, good luck to Nebraska volleyball. They got a real chance. They've always got a chance. They made it to the national championship last year with no seniors. They got a real chance to do some big things this year. All right, as always, I feel like I can say that every year. Now let's look at Nebraska women's basketball. They're ranked, all right, and Natalie Potts, shout out to her, speedy recovery. She posted on X, her surgery is complete. The road to recovery has begun, so shout out to her and speedy recovery as well. Going to come back better than ever. I have zero doubts about that. I saw her after, they played Kansas City, and I wished her that in person as well. I want to do it here. All right. The Associated Press top 25, Nebraska's 25th in the country. A lot of Big Ten teams represented in this top 25 for women's basketball. Michigan, Michigan State, Nebraska, Ohio State. All right, so Nebraska women's basketball is 7-1. Their last couple of games, they've won pretty handily. All right, 84-38. That was that Kansas City game. They won over Lindenwood on, Tuesday of this past week. And Big Ten play starts on Sunday as they take on PJ Fleck's good buddies, the Minnesota Gophers women's basketball team. So good luck to Amy Williams and everyone out there. Nebraska men's basketball, as I switch screens here, off to a 6-1 start. Women's basketball 7-1, if I forgot to mention that. The men are on a 3-game winning streak. They're 5-0 at home so far. They're getting ready to fire up, play a little bit of Big Ten play on Saturday versus Michigan State. They're going to head up to East Lansing. All right, the boys are 7-1. They have now won 17 straight home games dating back to last season as well. Connor Essegian leads Nebraska, or in the last game, led Nebraska with a game-high 22 points, 8 of 10 shooting, including 6 of 8 beyond the three-point arc. He is the first Husker in the Big Ten era to hit at least 6 three-pointers in consecutive games, as well as the first in at least 20 seasons to do so. Essegian is the first Husker with multiple games with at least 6 three-pointers in a season since Kobe Webster in 2020. All right, that's been your Husker Sports Roundup. When we come back, college football championship weekend, Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. Who's going to win? Do they want to win? And there's something about the Big 12, ACC, and Mountain West Conference championship games that just don't make any sense to me. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights.
Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with light winds, afternoon high around 48. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds with a low around 26. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze and a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Husker Nation, it's time. This Sunday, the Nebraska women's basketball team tips off Big Ten play against Minnesota at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The energy will be electric, and they need you there to help cheer them to victory. Single game tickets and starting 5 mini plans are available now, so don't wait. Go to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat. Go Big Red.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Early break.
He brings him in and teaches him how to be Santa Claus.
So what do you do if like a 16-year-old wants to sit on the lap? What do you do? There's a protocol.
Protocol. What do we do? How do we handle it?
Oh,
not
you
so
stand.
fast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to stand up next to you.
Claus, but not approved. Right.
Bunch of college girls.
Right. No. Oh, becomes no.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Everton plays Liverpool at 6:30 a.m., followed by Brentford facing off against Newcastle at 9 a.m. To cap off the Saturday action, Nottingham Forest will face off against Man United at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Ipswich Town plays Bournemouth, and then Tottenham and Chelsea will battle it out at 10:30 a.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at A&P.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. Normally, segment 2 is brought to you by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue, but we did Carriker's Trivia Challenge there today, so they have been dedicated to segment 3 of Adam Carriker Show. Is brought to you by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker, open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burnt end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, and half smoked chicken, and much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, I get hungry every day just freaking reading this. All right, get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. And here's the deal. It's really, really, really good food. You know what I would do? I mean, I'm not biased at all. I would go eat at Mulberry Barbecue every day, and I would listen to this show. I'm just saying. It seems like a good way to live your life. Right, Jake?
Absolutely.
Whoops, as I try to knock the microphone over. Anything on the text line and we need to dive into before we look ahead to college football championship weekend?
Well, just, where you're kind of saying is people are kind of getting upset about removing the walk-on program. It feels like it's crushing dreams out there.
It is.
That's kind of been the frustration on the text line.
Is that okay? I'll address that real quick. So I mentioned this before. A lot of my best friends were walk-ons that I met at Nebraska. My brother-in-law is a walk-on. It's how I met my wife. By the way, he gave me her number. So every time he sees me at Christmas, if he acts grumpy, I'm like, this is your fault, buddy. But I have a special spot in my heart for walk-ons. And there's pluses and minuses to this. There's more minuses than pluses. Obviously, more scholarships, etc. There's a trickle-down effect. Now, guys will go play at other schools instead of Nebraska, maybe South Dakota State or something. And if you can't, if you were a guy who's going to walk on a South Dakota State, maybe you go. It trickles down. But eventually, there's a place you can't trickle down to anymore. Like, you can't trickle down back into high school. And that's the part that sucks. There's more to it than that. But in summation, that's kind of my final thoughts. It does suck to use wildly improper English here, but that's okay. We're keeping it real. And it has a special place in my heart. It's something that bothers me. College football is $1 billion business. Just so you know, Nebraska's football made almost $205 million last year. All right, college football as a whole, well over darn near $2 billion. It just is what it is. The number one grossing college football program in the country last year was Ohio State, about $280 million. Number 2 is A&M. Not Texas, not GAGMU. GAGMU is number 3. All right, Michigan was up there. Nebraska was 6th. There was a lot of money being made. And that's the people running college football are not people who prioritize football or understand or love football. There are people who saw an avenue to make money, college football. It was not being maximized. And they came in and they said, I don't know what's best for the game. I know how to maximize money. By the way, we're just going to continue to look more and more and more like the NFL because that's how you make the most money. Every move that's made, we look more and more like the NFL. I forget if I shared this on the show yesterday. I had a buddy of mine text me, hey, are they going to end up with practice squad guys to try to get more players out there? And I was like, holy crap, they just might have practice squad someday. We've already talked about AFC versus NFC, all that stuff. All right, topic for another day. So the ACC, the Big 12 Championship, the Mountain West Conference Championship. I love that the winners of these games are automatically in the playoff. I don't love the buys, the automatic buys. Because think about this. If you're UNLV or Boise, if you win that game, well, UNLV wouldn't. But Boise, you get a first-round bye probably. They're going to get a first-round bye. If you lose, you're out. How ridiculous is that? Same thing with Arizona State or Iowa State. You win, you're going to get a first-round bye. But if you lose, you're out. There's no gray area in between. That's a crazy thing to me that just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. Clemson, with 3 losses in the ACC, has a chance to get a first-round bye. What kind of sense does that make? They played 3 ranked teams this year, lost all of them. Got curb stomped by Georgia 34-3. Severely outplayed at home by Louisville. All right, and lost. And then South Carolina comes into their house, a rivalry game, pulls away, and wins the game late. By the way, South Carolina has no chance of getting in the college football playoff now at this point based on the rankings, and they're not playing any more games, and the teams in front of them, namely Alabama and a couple other teams, are already ahead of them. They're not playing games. How are you going to jump them? So that doesn't make any sense. I think they should be in the playoff. I don't even mind if you're a conference champ, you get an automatic home field if you're playing a non-conference champ, regardless of the seed. I wouldn't hate that. But I don't understand. You're either a first-round bye or you're out for 5 of those 6 teams. SMU, if they lose, they might stay in, possibly stay in. It'd be between them and Bama, and the committee's going to put Bama in. But let's look at these games specifically, and I'm going to save SEC Big Ten for the end. All right, so you look at the ACC championship game. I've actually been a fan of SMU all year. I've been rooting for them all year. They are about a 3.5-point favorite in this game over Clemson. Who would have imagined that before the season? And it's interesting because I spoke with someone, and he's like, had this game been played before the season, Clemson would have only been a 6-point favorite. And I was like, really? Before any games were played, they wouldn't have been like a 2-touchdown favorite, like 6 points. So the pendulum has swung in SMU's favor. Only one loss all year. Clemson has 3. But not as much as I would have thought. So people had a high opinion of SMU coming into the year, at least relatively speaking. Remember, Clemson was a top 10 team before Georgia curb stopped them and mollywopped them. And actually, that game was only 6-0 at halftime. It was just the second half that got ugly with Georgia. I just like saying fun words sometimes, but it was bad the second half. So SMU is a slight favorite. SMU is number 2 in the country when it comes to pressure rate on opposing quarterbacks. They have a top 10 offense, explosive offense. When it comes to explosive offense, I believe they're 17th in the country, while Clemson is 105 in allowing explosive plays. And to me, that's number 1 key to the game. Number 2, SMU tends to turn the ball over. They once won a game this year with a -6 turnover margin in the game. Think about that. Think about how ridiculously bad that is and how good it is that you somehow found a way to win. Clemson, they're very much in the plus column when it comes to the turnover margin. I think SMU will win this game with the outlier of one thing, the turnovers. If they win the turnover margin or it's even, I got SMU. I'm taking SMU. But you can't predict turnovers. If Clemson wants a chance to win, they played 3 ranked teams this year and they've lost. By the way, SMU's played 1 ranked team this year, BYU, and they lost. And they haven't played the most brutal schedule. Of their 8 conference opponents, because the ACC only plays 8 conference games, just like the SEC, of the 8 conference opponents, 6 of those 8 conference opponents, conference record was 500 or worse. So SMU is not exactly battle-tested. They played 1 ranked team, BYU, and they've lost. So there's not a ton of confidence on this. I don't think Clemson is peaking at the right time. I think Arizona State is hot, and I think SMU is playing good ball right now. I'm going to go with SMU to win. If the turnovers flip, all hell could break loose. All right, look at the Big 12 title game. You've got Arizona State. You got Iowa State. Iowa State is the only team in the country with 2 receivers with over 1,000 receiving yards this year. Their offense is much stronger than their defense. Their 3-3-5 defense they run. Arizona State, it's a bad matchup for Iowa State because the one thing Iowa State struggles to do as a team, the worst, stop the run. They're 107th in the country stopping the run. Arizona State 19th in the country at running the ball. And Cam Skattebo, no, I'm not making up words. Cam Skattebo is Arizona State's running back. He is a stud. Look this dude up. He averages 170 total yards a game, over 100 rushing yards a game. 7 times this year, he had 25 carries or more in a game. This dude is a workhorse. Now, they're without, I was easily going to pick Arizona State, but they're without their top wide receiver, and that makes me nervous. But their strength is running the ball. Iowa State struggles to stop running the ball. All right. Iowa State can score, though. It can be interesting. The other thing that makes me nervous is within the red zone, Arizona State really struggles. And Iowa State's got a top 30 red zone defense. I'm taking Arizona State. I'd feel better if they had their top wide receiver. All right. We got about 4 minutes here. Georgia, gag me you. Now, here's the deal. Georgia severely outplayed Texas in Austin. 30-15, I believe, was the final score of that game. Here were their scoring drives. If you remember, their offense didn't have to do much. Their defense was dominant. Georgia scoring drives started at Texas's 13, 28, Texas's 28, Texas's 34, Texas's 30, and Georgia's 45 was their worst scoring drive starting field position of the game. Their offense didn't have to do diddly squat. And they won 30-15. Their defense was dominant. They held Gagme to 1.1 yards per carry. Texas lost their top 2 running backs before the season. The next guy who stepped up has stepped up. And he's one of those guys that you develop and you love. He's like a Nebraska-type old-school running back that would have developed, waited his time, and then burst on the scene like as a junior or senior. All right, but Georgia had 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, held to Texas to 3 of 19 on third down. All right, Carson Beck, the Georgia quarterback, who had 3 interceptions in this Texas game. That gets overlooked. In this game versus Texas, the first time they played in Austin, is the wild card. He was projected to be the either first or second best quarterback in the country. It was really him Ewers, Shadur Sanders were the top 3 projected quarterbacks in the country before the season. He's been so wildly up and down this year. He's the wild card. If he plays well, they got a chance. If he doesn't, they're done. I think Texas is actually better. All right, they have no consistent standout wide receiver this year. Travis Etienne, their best running back, who had 3 touchdowns in the first game versus Texas. Don't know if he's going to play this game. And when he's out, they're in the 100s when it comes to rushing the ball in the country. I'm going to go with Gag Me You to win the SEC in their first season. I can't wait to see all the humility that comes out of their mouth after that game. All right. How much time I got here, Jake?
About 2 minutes.
Ooh, that's more than I thought. I'll take it. Oregon, Penn State. I don't even know if you want to win this game. I really don't. You're either the 1 seed, and in round 2, because it's projected Ohio State's going to host Tennessee in the first round of the playoff, and whoever wins that's going to play the 1 seed. Or, if Oregon loses, they'll be the 5 seed. They're probably going to play Arizona State. Maybe UNLV beats Boise. By the way, I have Boise winning. All right, the only thing that sticks out to me about Boise is Eric Chenanders, their defensive coordinator, and I love that dude, but it sticks in my craw that he's probably going to get to the playoffs before we do. And somebody told me he's running the 3-3-5 there. I have not confirmed that, but I was like, that just makes me even more sad if that's true. But I love Eric. He's a good dude. I wish we'd had more success with him here. I don't even know if you want to win this game. Penn State could lose and be the 5 seed. Either be them or Notre Dame. Notre Dame's projected to get it right now. Okay, barring what happens in the Big Ten championship game. But in the first round, let's say Boise wins, so they get a top 4 seed. You would play Iowa State or Arizona State the winner. And then the second round, which you'd be a big favorite, you play probably no, it would depend on who wins the ACC championship game. You could play a 3-loss Clemson, but it'd probably be Iowa State, Arizona State, and then the second round you'd play Boise, and you'd be a gigantic favorite in both those. Or you can be the number 1 seed, get a bye, and then take on probably Ohio State because they're going to host Tennessee as the projected first-round matchup. All right, in the first round of the playoffs. So do you want to win? I don't know. We'll see. Here's the deal. The actual matchup itself. These 2 teams have not played since the 1995 Rose Bowl. One person asked me, should we move it to Pasadena? That'd be great. Oregon's a 3.5-point favorite. Oregon has struggled, Penn State has struggled mightily versus teams like Ohio State, Michigan, and ranked teams. Their average points per game versus their last 4 ranked opponents, not top 5, top 10, just ranked, 12 points per game. Oregon has the second best record in all of FBS since 2020, 34-5. Penn State, 32-6. So 2 winning programs. All right, the matchup here to watch, I am going to take Oregon. The matchup to watch is Oregon's offensive line is up for the Joe Moore Award as the top offensive line in the country, along with Texas and Army. Shout out to Army. Okay, Penn State, number 1 in the country at fastest time to getting to the quarterback at 2.63 seconds. They've got a top 15 pick in Abdul Carter. The other guy, he's only a 5-star out of high school. So can Oregon protect Dylan Gabriel or Penn State? Can they get there beforehand? I'm going to go with Oregon. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the ball.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.